You find yourself owing the IRS or state money, perhaps a lot of money. How do you take care of this? What are your options? Hi, I'm Gary, and welcome to TaxBulldog for the best thoughts and ideas for trimming your tax debt. These videos are to help you to help yourself to avoid costly professional fees. If your situation has a level of complexity, you may want to consult with a professional. These videos will at least give you an introduction of what to expect and to know when someone is just trying to con you. If you feel you need help, see my video on selecting a tax professional to represent you at this link. In this brief video, I'm going to talk about options to resolve your tax debt. Now, I will make references and display some links on the screen. I will also list these in the description below. The options to pay your taxes. 1 is to pay it in full. 2 is to get an installment agreement. 3 is to get your case put into a currently not collectible status. 4 is to apply for an abatement to reduce what you owe. 5 is to submit an offer in compromise to settle it once and for all. And 6 is to file a bankruptcy. I will discuss each of these briefly here, and then I will produce more in-depth videos on these topics in the near future. But this gives you an overview of your options, and then you can seek more information on the one that best suits you. Now, 1, paying it in full. If you have the cash or liquid assets that can be used to pay it in full, that's always the best option. That's to avoid the accrual of penalty and interest. You can also consider getting a loan. The IRS's effective interest rate can be as high as 10%, and at the current interest rate of 4%, which is compounded daily, and the late payment penalty of 0.5% per month, which adds up to 6% a year, these add up to an effective interest rate of 10%. Now, these rates are as the date of this video. Interest rates are reevaluated each calendar quarter and changed as they're deemed to be necessary. 2 is installment agreements. These are payment plans that are available if you're not able to pay it in full. It can be easy as the streamlined installment agreement or as complicated as the full disclosure installment agreement. Full disclosure installment agreement involves completing a financial statement and providing additional records as requested. 3 is the currently not collectible status. This is where you are not required to make any payments at all, if you are literally just too poor at this time. The tax debt does not go away. The IRS can review your status from time to time and request payments if it looks like you can pay. Now, penalty and interest continues to accrue during this status. 4 is abatements. The IRS will abate or forgive penalty and associated interest if you have what is called reasonable cause. A reasonable cause can be a subjective term, but the IRS does define it for their purposes. There has to have been an event or circumstance that made it impossible or impractical to file or pay a tax on time. That's it in a nutshell. Such causes can be the death of the taxpayer, incapacitating illness or injury of the taxpayer, fire, flood, natural disaster, or anything that made it impossible or impractical to meet one's tax duty. The 5th option is the offer in compromise. An offer in compromise is where the taxpayer settles a tax debt for an amount less than the tax owing. Now, this is done in special circumstances, whereas the IRS is not likely to collect the taxes within the limit of the statutes or within the taxpayer's lifetime. The settle amount is based on the combination of payment ability and the assets that the taxpayer has. The compromise uses a formula that determines the amount of the offer that the IRS will accept. Now, this is a good one for those who have very little, and it's amazing how many people can easily qualify for this. Option number 6 is bankruptcy. Only individual taxes can be discharged in bankruptcy, and there are 5 considerations. 1 is the taxes must have been due more than 3 years prior. The taxes must have been filed at least 2 years prior. 3 is any assessments such as audits, amendments, or other changes must have been made at least 240 days prior. 4 is the tax return was not fraudulent. 5, the taxpayer is not guilty of tax evasion. To do this, you must first qualify to file a bankruptcy under the rules defined by where you live. There is a means test for each state, so you will need to consult with a qualified bankruptcy attorney for your state to see if you can file a bankruptcy. Now, there are some caveats to discharging taxes in bankruptcy. If you or your attorney are not careful, some taxes may survive the bankruptcy and you'll still owe them. I will do a separate video on this subject, but you can find an article that I wrote on this at this address. Now, all of the above options can be limited to some exceptions, such as the tax being the result of a criminal prosecution. Employment and trust fund taxes may not be settled depending on the case. So in summary, we reviewed the options to resolve your tax debt. You can pay it in full, get an installment agreement, get a currently not collectible status, apply for an abatement, submit for an offer in compromise, or file bankruptcy. Now here are some resources. TaxBulldog.com. Now this is my website with many articles, documents, forms, and other information in regards to dealing with tax collection and audit issues. I try to demystify things. /IRS Back Taxes book at this link. The IRS on YouTube at this link. This is a treasure trove of helpful videos for taxpayers. It's very good. The IRS on tax scams and the games that scammers play to steal your money. I'll put the link for that one in the description below because it's rather lengthy. So in closing, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it and got something out of it, please give me a like and share with your family, friends, and colleagues. Please subscribe to see my future videos as I produce them so you can be aware of the topics that may be timely and important to you at that time. Also, from time to time, I will update the descriptions of my videos and add other relative videos and information as an update. Check back often if you need more information. I may have something new for you. After a period of time, some of the tax law, policies, and procedures can change. Also, after a period of time, some of the links may expire as old content is changed or removed from the web by others. Thank you.